Oh, there we go. What's up, everybody? This is Tim with Loudmouth, and we got
the real Ron is always with Tim.
That's right.
So, you know what, Tim? Hang on a sec. Let me show you.
All right. Don't show me another Trump flag. Oh, it's the infamous guitar, y'all. Nice. Right. You got to put that in the back, man.
I know, man. I got to
keep that in the back.
I gotta hang it up somewhere, man. I know my peeps out there love the pink guitar. I'm got clothes on now, so
all your super fans, they love that pink guitar. They talk about it all the time.
I know.
Yeah. Oh man. So to those that are showing up or whatever, we were supposed to do this yesterday. Something came up. We couldn't do it. So we figured we'd just go ahead and do it today.
That's my fault.
Why the hell not? I mean, that's all right. And it's funny because I don't usually go open the stream until you're there. But I just did it yesterday because I was sitting there. I was ready to go. But yeah, not a big deal. So today we've got, well, what all did you have, Ron?
I just had a couple things. I wanted to get your opinion on the new OSSAA, the high school athletic guidelines that came out that said that they can
Oh, you're breaking up.
Yeah,
you're breaking up. I don't know if that's on my end or what.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah.
Let me shut some stuff off here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're not moving on the screen at all.
I'm not moving.
There we go. We got you back.
Okay.
The OSSA, what now? What? OSSBA?
Yeah. No, the OSSAA, Oklahoma Secondary Schools Athletic Association.
Oh, okay.
They have came out with a thing that says guidelines that says that student athletes in high school can now make money off their likeness, their name, and their endorsement of products.
Good.
As long as they don't use the school's logo, the school's name, or the school's mascot.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I never understood the college thing either. They basically owned those people. I mean, because let's face it, they draw in a lot of money for these schools. These kids do.
One more little thing. It only includes it doesn't include extracurricular activities like ag, showing sheep, things like that. It only includes like football, baseball, basketball.
What? Okay, see, that's bullshit. That's
only athletics, not extracurricular activities.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. If you can make money off of it, or if the school is using your likeness to make money, you should get a part of that. I don't care.
If you're out there showing thousands of dollars worth of sheep or cattle or heifers or whatever, make some money.
You said that's OSSBA?
OSSAA.
OSSAA. High school earning. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about that.
Yeah. They I think it was announced day before yesterday.
2 days ago. Okay, so new space for us, OSAA, Oklahoma high school students. Matter of fact, let me see if I can put this up on the screen.
Let me turn this off real quick.
All right, let me see if I can put this up on the screen for everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Present screen. Give me just a second, everybody. Sorry, I know it's a little delayed. Chrome tab. This would be I gotta open it first. I believe that is it. Oh, it's gonna make me pay.
We don't pay for shit.
Let me see if it. Yeah, it's gonna. Well, that sucks. Let me try to sign in real quick.
I forget who shared that with me. I could tell you what page to go to
I'm pretty sure I subscribed to the Oklahoman. Yeah. All right, so let me. All right, let's do that. Oh, something went away. What the hell? There it is.
Yeah, boards approves. NIL.
All right. So I'm going to zoom in so everybody can. Oh, come on. There. I'm going to zoom in so everybody can see that. And pause that crap. The ability of Oklahoma high school athletes to profit from their name, image, or likeness is reaching Oklahoma. Engaging in certain commercial activities as an individual. It's a new space for us. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
I don't either, except it's not all inclusive is all my problem is.
Right. Yeah. Of course, the OSSAA wouldn't be able to make changes for, whatever AG's acronym is. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's great. It's a step in the right direction. Because they draw a lot of money. I mean, they're paying these high school coaches, $1 million a year or whatever, which is crazy, but it happens.
It's ridiculous amount of money. And that's where a lot of the schools like Owasso, Bixby, Jinx, Union, they're pulling in those dollars.
Yeah. I mean, because
those kids,
we live in a capitalist country, yet when you're young and you're being, kind of prodded into this multi-million-dollar industry, yet none of the efforts that you have gain anything for you other than, you learn about teamwork. Oh, okay. Thanks. Glad I could make you $1 million.
I don't know do you follow high school football at all?
No, huh?
Okay. Well, my man is from McAllister, right?
Oh, Walters.
Yeah.
Ryan the woke Walters.
Ryan the wokeness. But down in the McAllister Buffaloes, they have a phenomenal team, right? And there's a dude he's already committed to OU. His name is Eric McCarty, I believe. He's a friend. He's a brother of a friend of mine, and he is just phenomenal. And he's one of those that would benefit and have financial gains off this topic because he's just getting blowed up. He's awesome. He's amazing. They did get stomped by Coweta last night, but that's beside the point. But yeah, my daughter shows sheep up here at the Ag Barn, and I think that they have to fill out the same OSSAA paperwork that
is that considered athletics?
It deals with athletics and extracurricular activities like band people.
See, that's bullshit too. That's bullshit too.
I think they have the authority over all that, not the authority, but they have the guidelines and stuff over all that type of stuff.
And it's not like they're saying that you have to pay them. It's just that they can earn money off of it if they have an opportunity to do that. I don't see the downside there, because that'll allow a kid to put himself through school. It'll allow a kid to help generate money for family if they're struggling. I mean, we
100%.
Our gifts are supposed to help us out, but in this country,
and they get to do it before they get hurt or something happens to them in life.
Yeah, they imagine how many badasses got hurt.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. And we probably know a few.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one
crazy.
of the things I had to talk about. I just wanted to see what you had to say.
Well, speaking of awesome things and things to talk about, Joe Biden had recently offered to pardon anybody with simple possession for marijuana. They're estimating it'll be like 6,500 people, so it's not that many people. I mean, I can't imagine there'd be a whole lot of federal cases for possession. I think most federal cases are like distribution and all that stuff, which, that's a different thing. But I think it's a great thing. It should have been done years ago.
I don't have a problem at all with the pardoning of individuals that use marijuana. I think marijuana, you've opened that box now, so it's like alcohol or cigarettes or whatever. It's not. I don't consider it a serious hard drug. I do consider it mind altering, and it is just as much as probably not as much as alcohol, but I did a research paper when I was in college, a speech over how many people we had costing us money in prison for marijuana, like a joint. They're like spending 3 to 5 years in prison for a joint for possession. Right. Not that they were selling it or anything. It was just ridiculous. And That's where you get in. I'm glad that happened.
Here's a great example of how screwed up our justice system has been really for a long time. Do you ever remember Robert Chambers? He was the Preppy murderer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that guy, he only got 15 years for killing that girl, right? And he admitted that he was the reason that she died. But then he ended up getting more time. I think it was like 19 years after he had gotten out. He was busted for drugs. He got more time busted for drugs than he got for killing this girl. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. And it leads me to, you have, let's talk about this real quick. Take just a few minutes. You have Hunter Biden, right?
Oh, he loves his drugs.
He admitted in his own book that he bought a gun while he was addicted to drugs, lied on the application, and they're wondering if they're going to indict him and charge him. You and I would be in prison, sitting in jail right now.
Yeah. I have a hard time believing that they will go after him criminally just because of who he is, which is bullshit. The guy's about as scuzzy as you can get.
Scuzzy.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, there's not much else to say about that. I think liberals a lot of times just try to ignore the fact that it's going on. But to me, it's like, we didn't elect him. We elected his dad.
That's true.
So, one doesn't necessarily mean the other. Now I will say as a parent, I believe, or at least I would hope that when my kids are his age, that I'd be like, look, you screwed up. You get to suffer the consequences of your actions. That's life. I mean, damn, you 30 years old, 40 years old, however old he is, and you haven't learned yet. Let him go. Let him go after him. That's what I say. But at the same time, I can understand the want to protect your kid because it's your kid. It'll always be your kid.
I don't think that Biden will run again, but if he ever wanted to run again and win, it would be the best thing he could do is put his own son's ass in jail.
Yeah, I think that might do more for him than it would to try and, play politics and, get his son out of trouble when his son should be in trouble. I mean, that dude's about I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He never grew up. That reminds me of that movie Failure to Launch.
Yep. I want to talk, Tim, and this is your puppy, but you got me kind of amped up on this just now.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
And well, I mean, not just now, but you've been kind of getting me, and I've researched it and looked into it. And I think we need to make sure that more parents are aware of what is going on, because we got a lot of distractions. We got the Tyler Wren thing, we've got the book thing, the CRT thing, but this really hits home for me once you get into it and you realize what's going on with our kids. So I set you up. Just give them a not a whole. I mean, we're not lawyers here, but tell us what you think.
Yeah. So what he's referring to is back in August, on August 9th, I believe, I sent an email to the district asking for all educational records and personally identifiable information that has been sent to third-party vendors like Gaggle, Duolingo, anything that's used online. And this is stuff that Ferpa states that we have a right to have access to. Because they're sending information about our kids to these companies, even Google, Google Classroom or whatever. They have a lot of information about it. And I can't determine who's got what. I don't know who has what kind of information. When I reach out to Gaggle, as an example, they tell me to talk to the district. The district tells me to talk to Gaggle. Gaggle says, well, we can't release this to you because we don't know if you're the parent. We can't prove that you're the parent, which is nonsense. They could if they wanted to try. They just won't try. And then the district won't do anything. So I sent them an email and listed out all the statutes that give me the right to access this information. Well,
what type of information were you wanting?
Everything, all the educational records. We're talking
anything
metadata,
dealing with your kid,
right? Metadata, emails, anything like that. Browser history, logs, IP logs for those vendors for those third-party things. So if they go on to Duolingo or whatever, and any information about my child's education in Duolingo, because they're, my daughter is in Spanish class and they use that. They use Duolingo in Spanish class. So that, I believe, would be part of the educational record, given that, they're learning off of these platforms. So what I got back was a bunch of nonsense. They sent me, all they sent me was a stack of.
Oh yeah, tell them that pissed me off. Tell them, yeah.
It was a printout of the attendance records within Power School, and Power School is something that I can log into, and I can go and look up what they sent me in a printout form. Right, I can look that up myself. I didn't need them to send me that. That's not even really what I asked for, because from what I understand, Power School is not housed over the cloud. That is something that they house within the district servers. So that's not even information that they're sending to Power School necessarily, because it's a district server thing that they house. Well, they send me this letter that says basically, well, in Owasso Independent School District versus Falvo, the Supreme Court ruled that it's not educational records unless it fits into a file cabinet and is housed inside of the school, which that's nonsense, because that would imply that all a district would have to do is go to a third-party vendor, send all of its information over to a server in the cloud, and then they would have no obligation to give you squat. They wouldn't have to give you anything. That's what that essentially implies. So this argument that they made that none of that stuff is educational records is just complete nonsense. It's horseshit. So all they sent me was the attendance records within Power School. That was all I got, and I asked for all of them, because there are things that they use that I don't even know about, because they don't tell the parents.
And you and I know this, but because we've been involved, but parents are legally, under the Oklahoma State Constitution, legally able to view everything that
and in the parental bill of rights as well.
So what does FERPA I know what does FERPA stand for?
It's a Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, and it was created in like 1974, right? This is before the internet.
And that's a federal law or a federal act.
Right. Now, FERPA, what it does is they are required to maintain your kid's privacy. So all the information about your child has to be housed privately, and they can't just give it out to whoever. That's why when you call up about an issue with your student, if it involves another student, they can't give you information, because that is a violation of FERPA. Right. Now, this court case that they had referenced, what had happened is the students were doing peer-reviewed grading, right? So they would swap out papers. You'd give it one to your neighbor would give it to you, and then you would grade each other's papers. Well, this parent argued that was a violation of FERPA, because it was a disclosure that wasn't, they didn't get consent from the parent before they did that. If that makes any sense, right? Because they're talking about a grade that was given to their child that another student got to see. So they're saying this is a disclosure of an educational record to another student, which in my opinion is a fine argument. But when they get to court, the court said, well, it's only an educational record once the teacher marks it in her record book. Until then, it's not an educational record. Now, in that court case, the majority opinion at the very end, it states explicitly, and you know what? Let me find it, and I'll just read the damn thing, because
because
it says
it's very subjective, I guess.
Well, this isn't. This is very explicit. It says,
but what they're doing, what the Owasso Public Schools is doing.
Yeah, well, the argument they made is just nonsense. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. So it says here, for these reasons, even assuming a teacher's grade book is an education record, the Court of Appeals erred, for in all events, the grades on students' papers would not be covered under FERPA, at least until the teacher has collected them and recorded them in his or her grade book. then it says we limit our holding to this narrow point and do not decide the broader question whether the grades on individual student assignments, once they are turned in to teachers, are protected by the act. So the majority opinion literally state that's a very narrow definition of what we're talking about, only in reference to the arguments that were being made about the students' grades and whether or not the grade book and the grades themselves were, housed under Ferpa or, under the Ferpa umbrella of privacy. So, but they're using that to claim that they don't have to give me any of this information about what information they are sending to these vendors, which is bullshit. That's
so
nonsense.
As I understand it, we're covered under the Oklahoma Constitution to request any information in regards to our child education. Right. And they're telling you that you can't get that, but in the same breath telling you that they're giving it to strangers.
Right. I mean, to put it simply, they believe that the parent has no right to personally identifiable information about their own child and whether or not they've disclosed that to somebody. And if they did disclose it, that they don't have to give that disclosure or offer that to the parent. But at the same time, they are allowed to, whenever they want to, give it to strangers who have no bearing on the child's life other than they're providing some service, whatever that might be. So they can, in Lightspeed, as an example, they're in the contract. It very explicitly states that they are allowed to sell your students' data. So the school can give your child's name, address, phone number, whatever information that they want that's required for Lightspeed to provide its service. The school can give that to them, but they can't. The school refuses to give you the information that they've given to them. That doesn't make any sense. So the parent has no right here once they've shipped it off to whoever wants to buy it. Because let's face it, if a contract says that we can sell this data or manipulate it or change it or use it for advertising, they're going to do exactly that.
So what do you think what is it that they don't want you to see?
I don't know.
What are they not wanting to provide, I guess?
Who knows? Maybe there's a couple of things. It could be pure laziness. They don't want to go to all of these different things that they use and gather that information because it's a lot of work, but they have to do it for free because it's education records. Or they don't want parents to know what all information that they have handed off to these people that you don't know.
I'm going to go with the latter. I really believe that.
Most likely what it is like they feel like they have a right over, they're the arbiters of your kid's information and you don't have a right to see that. It's hard for me to express how ridiculous their argument was, but you can go to my page and I don't know if I made it public. Go to Timothy Ryland on Facebook. And matter of fact, you know what? I'll just put the link in the chat. Let me do that 1 second. And I say that because you can go and read exactly the thing that they sent to me. And it is absolutely ridiculous.
And you requested it back in August too.
Wait, whoa, what the hell? There it is. Okay. For a second, I thought Facebook deleted it.
Yeah, you thought the NSA was in your room.
All right, so I'm going to make this public. That way anybody that goes there can do it. So you can go there and you can read the documents that they sent to me, and then you can read my response to them. Essentially, I just lay out the fact that the argument they made is completely and totally ridiculous. It's 100% nonsensical. None of it makes any sense.
And I know
don't even I don't know. I'm like really irritated by it, but
I know from dealing with the school board members, most of them, and the administrations, not just in Owasso, but everywhere else, you're not going to hear anything back from them.
Yeah. Well, I sent a shitty email to the board members because I talked to the board members a little differently than school officials. But after I gathered more information, read up on that Owasso Independent School District versus Falvo, then I sent one to not only the superintendent but their attorney, Bo Rainey, who
Bo.
is right.
Bo.
But Bo, I even told the board, I'm like, look, I feel like Bo wants you to be sued because that was a fucking ridiculous argument that he made. It doesn't make any sense. And I know that he's the one that made it. There's no way Margaret did that.
No.
She's not that stupid. She's a smart lady. I really don't think she's that dumb. I don't think she's as dumb as Bo is, honestly.
No. Bo, well, when I requested all the documents from Owasso Public Schools a couple of years ago, he was like, you want every single email between everybody for 6 months? He said, that's like over 2,000 emails.
Get on it, Bo. Get that redact button ready.
Oh, yeah, he did too. He's like, you know how much that's going to cost? You want all those? If there was something specific, I was, no. Some bitch, I want all of them.
Yeah, because it's hard to gather context if you're missing something.
Right.
And it's hard to know what you're missing unless you request everything. Just
and
like
I have, well, and I'll tell you this. I sent let me see if I can find it here. Because I'm still waiting on this. I need to follow up on this. In fact, who did I send this to?
Yeah, I may be boring people with that story, but it's so hard to put into words what I'm trying to express because of how off the wall and whiplashy that response was from them. What's this? I can't see it yet. Open records request. Dear, who's that? Mr.
You see the date?
Yeah, August 29th. Yeah.
I requested the same thing from Bigsby. I want everything.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember you talked about that on the show.
And it's August 7th.
Yeah. August 7th. Well, that was what, June?
It was August. I requested it August 29th. So 1st of September.
So this is October. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot though.
It is. I'm going to give them about 45 days.
Yeah. If not even longer. That's a lot of information.
Well, and she told me, she's like, that's probably going to be over 1,000 emails. She was the same way. And this is the clerk for the school board. She's like, it's probably going to take us 30 to 45 days to get all this together. Are you sure you want everything and not just a specific? No, I need everything. I need everything.
What's crazy though, is that when you do those large orders like that, they can charge you hourly.
They can. I don't know. Can they as you as a parent though? Because
it says
I thought they could only charge you hourly if you were like a news media outlet or something using it for profit or something like that.
No, it's and I'll pull it up. Now they charge differently if you're a news organization, which somebody could argue that you are.
No, I'm not. Stop.
Let's see.
I ain't made any money off this shit.
I got to pull this up. That's going to be, that's funny. Oklahoma.gov has removed that page.
Really?
Open record. Yeah. Let's see.
I got two more little things I want to talk about besides this, but they're little things.
It says there is a $35 per hour cost of labor fee when computer programming or computer processing time is required. This isn't in the statute, though. This is just like a FAQ, frequently asked question page. I'd have to find it again. I don't want to keep looking, but yeah, I've read in there that they can charge hourly.
And I don't mind paying for that because that does take a lot of time and effort to pull all that stuff, and that's fine. Yeah. I wish they would just let me come down there with a little USB drive or something. And well,
it's weird because even when you do that, they can still charge you the 25 cents.
They still do. Yeah.
The
only way you can view it for free is if you come down there and use their computer and view it while you're sitting there.
Yeah. Well, and think about it though. Like if, for emails is a big thing. They have to send their lawyers in to redact all of that stuff. So these requests do cost them money. Of course, I don't know what they pay to retain those lawyers, but I mean, it's an expensive thing, but it's good.
I have through the process, because we do open records requests all the time, their lawyers redact it per state statute or whatever, and then they send it to the admin, and the admin redact it according to policy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually had a conversation with Jordan, who's the communications director, and he was talking about redactions, which is funny because I actually got an email with your name in it that wasn't redacted, and I thought that was a little weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that they would redact because they were redacting a board member's personal email, even though that board member, that's all that board member uses for district-related stuff is his personal email.
Yeah.
But they didn't redact it one of the times. So I got the email. So every time I send him, he gets 2 emails from me.
Didn't you even get open records that one of them was an email that you had sent that was redacted? That you're like, I sent this email.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
At least not.
They were talking shit. They were like,
they were talking
don't talk
shit,
to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Margaret or maybe it was Fitchner. I can't remember.
It was Amy Fitchner. It was Fitchner.
Yeah, she's like, oh, be careful when you talk to Mr. Riley, and he records everything and he posts it online. I'm like, yeah.
Damn right.
Sometimes I do. Unless I tell you. If I tell you I'm not going to, I won't do it. You know, I'm not a huge asshole. Yeah, nor do I, because there are conversations that I had with Castaldi, just purely out of respect for her. Hold on real quick. I'm getting a phone call. I don't know who this is.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, hey, what's up, man? Give me just a second. I was talking about, hey, Ron, this is J-Day. Give me a second.
Okay.
So I was calling about an issue with the school. I had requested all educational records from Owasso Public Schools related to my kids about, that they send to the third-party vendors, because I'm trying to figure out what PII or personally identifiable information that they are sending to these places, because when I call Gaggle says, well, we can't give you that information because we can't prove you're a parent. And then they tell me to contact the district. The district tells me to contact Gaggle because they don't have that information. So I did essentially based on FERPA, I list all the statutes and tell them all the information that I want. Yes. And I sent that. I gave them 45 days. They responded to me with the most ridiculous asinine argument I think I've ever read in my life. OPS. They sent me all they sent me as education records was the attendance records for my daughter on Power School, which I can access myself, which is, I didn't ask for that. That's not what I asked for. And then they sent a 3-page argument, I believe, from their attorney that none of those are educational records because the Supreme Court, they claim, ruled that unless it fits in a file cabinet and is housed centrally within the school, it is not educational records, which is horseshit. But the thing that they were arguing was Owasso Independent School District v. Falvo. This was a 2009 Supreme Court case. Yeah, at the very end of it, it very clearly states that is a narrow ruling based solely on the arguments presented in that case, and that they wouldn't go outside of that. Their ruling was not to go outside of the scope of that. Right. Yes. Yeah. And so ruling that, until the grade is actually entered into the record, it's not housed under FERPA. But none of that has anything to do with ed tech, because we've had the Department of Education in 2014 and in 2016 as part of their PLAC stuff. It's PTAC. I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but they even talked about things like metadata and how those ed techs are under the umbrella of FERPA, and that they have to do this, and this because of the metadata being part of FERPA. Yet this school is telling me that they're not going to give this to me because it's not FERPA, which is the only way around that is to sue them, which I don't have the money to do. So I don't know where, I don't know. Correct. Well, Gaggle is the main one. Now it's Lightspeed, because Lightspeed is even worse than Gaggle. Well, from what I gather from other people, Gaggle is, they hold the address of the child, any phone numbers, the parents' name. Yes, because they call the police if they need to. They literally state that they are able to call the police on the child if the child is at home doing something, while literally they're spying on the kids while the kids are sitting at home. It's bullshit. So that was what prompted me. But I want to know all of the vendors that my kids have been exposed to, because under Lightspeed's contract very explicitly states that they will sell this information as part of their advertising stuff. All the kids' data that goes to Lightspeed, and that was just this year. They signed on to them just this year, even though I've been bitching about Gaggle for, well, Margaret Coates is the one that signed the paper that was sent to me. Bo Rainey. Oh, so Russell Thornton is the executive director of the technology. So he is their contact. He is Gaggle's contact. He's actually my cousin, oddly enough. But he won't. No, he works for the school. He's the executive director of technology. Bo Rainey is the attorney for the school. But Russell Thornton is the technology director. And so he is the contact for Gaggle, but he doesn't respond to my emails anymore. I sent him a request months ago. He hasn't responded to it. So he, whatever. But, so I don't really know what else to do other than to see if somebody will take a pro bono case, because I don't have $500 an hour to hire an attorney to. Right. But it's, a law is only as good as its enforcement. You know what I mean? So FERPA is requiring them to. Right. But at the same time, the Oklahoma Parental Bill of Rights on A2 says that we have rights to all of those student records. While it doesn't define student records, it does state that we have rights to them. Exactly. Yep. I just want to see what has been shared with them, because nobody is telling me. I've done many. I've done them on the contract, and they sent me a 1-page deal. It was a receipt, and on the bottom it said, click this link for terms of service. Well, but the open records request is for administrative purposes, whereas the education records request is free because I'm allowed to, you know what I mean? Right. So I haven't done one specifically for my children. I mean, I could try, but I don't know. Correct. Yeah, because they won't tell me, and Gaggle won't tell me. I can't get them to come together and speak to me together. I can't get Russell to go to Gaggle and say, hey, this is the parent of so-and-so. You can release information to this person directly. They won't do that. I can't get them to do anything. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Give me all of it. Give me all of it. and they can't even do that. All I get's power school stuff that I have access to anyway. Well, he's the technology director, so he would deal with like online vendors, I imagine. You know, that's correct, because I mean, FERP is pretty darn clear. I mean, unless, you know, it's a service that the school is asking somebody else to do, they have to get permission to do that. But I don't know that Gaggle is providing a service that the school would have done otherwise. So but that's a, I don't like the idea of Gaggle. I don't like the idea of Gaggle. Yeah, absolutely. Because not only did they not ask for us to be okay with that, they're doing it while they're at home. It'd be one thing if their argument was while they're at school, we follow this stuff. But once they go home, that they have no right to that. And in fact, their arguments that they've made in the past were ridiculous, because they said SIPA requires them to do these things. But when I reached out to their SIPA compliance team, the guy that does the chief compliance officer that ran the point for Owasso's compliance for SIPA, he said that's bullshit. He's like, they don't need that. He said none of that. All they need to do is filter pornographic material and monitor like messaging services. No, I do not let them bring them home. They have agreed to let me drop the Chromebooks off at the house, but the moment that they sign up on the Chromebook, sign into the Chromebook to do their homework or something at home, now they are monitoring my own personal device, and that's another line. Yep. They are forced to. There is no way around it. They won't give like the homework and stuff on paper, and you're forced into using Google Classroom, which Gaggle attaches to. So anything done in Google Classroom, it attaches to that. And it's just, it's BS in my opinion. I think it's an overreach. Yes, if they would make that accommodation, that would be great. Though what I've asked them to do in the past is allow it to be an opt-in and opt-out program where, right, so that if you want the district to monitor your kids and all the stuff that they do, you can opt into it. Otherwise, you opt out of it. Union has done the same thing. Union Public Schools allows them to opt out. So their arguments that they can't, they claim that that SIPA requires them to do it, but that's nonsense. An opt-out yep. Yeah, I've even offered them. I've said, look, if you do this, I won't even tell anybody. It's like, because I'm here to advocate for my own kids, and other people can do the same for theirs. I was like, but they won't budge on it. They won't move. And I've filed FERPA complaints. I've filed with the Department of Education. I've reached out to the Attorney General's office. I mean, I've hit them all. Margaret Coates and Mark Officer have been decent, but that argument they just made just now just tells me how ridiculous they're going to be with this matter. Because
3:00.
Yeah, my kids' privacy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I don't know what information they have given out to people. I don't even know to who all they've given it out to, because they were using Gaggle for 6 years before I ever knew about it. And at that point, my kids had been in school for 6 years. They never once mentioned it. It's not in their manual. It's not in the policy book. It's not in the tech agreement. Nothing. They just do it, and they think they have a right to do it. And I disagree. I think that at the very least, that's something that they should have to tell parents. Hey, because I mean, think about that. If somebody has an issue with Gaggle as a company, if Gaggle has done something to somebody at some point, and a person's like, well, I don't want to do this because they're open to breaches. And that's another thing. You can look up. Elizabeth Warren did a congressional investigation into Gaggle, and found that they were crap, that they were open to attacks from the outside, and that the information they were holding wasn't being held properly, nor were the processes done correctly. And another point is that on their own terms of service, it states that the school districts must get permission from the parents. That's what Gaggle's agreement says. So that's what Owasso agreed to. Yet Owasso never did that, and Gaggle won't do anything. So if they won't uphold their own terms of service, why in the hell would I trust them for anything else? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, because so here's my concern. You've probably heard this before, but I believe you thought I was living in another district. But one, it's going to desensitize kids when they know that the government's watching them constantly all day. It's going to desensitize them to that. Correct. And have that option. And then the second thing is that even de-identified data that gets sold to an advertiser can be used to manipulate these children later on in the future when they become voters. Because look at what Cambridge Analytica was able to do with Facebook data, just superficial Facebook data. They were able to trigger people. Imagine if you had everything that a child does from the time they're in kindergarten until they turn 18. God, right. It says the psychological profiles that they could build on your children would be astronomically dangerous, beyond what we can even think about right now. I mean, it's crazy. So, but that's not, and it sucks because that's not something that people realize right at this moment. And so a lot of people don't really care, I guess, enough about it, but it will happen. One of these companies will start selling this stuff to the highest bidder. And, yeah. Yeah. We're, correct. Yeah. I want to know what they're sharing and with who. This is what I've gleaned from other people dealing with Gaggle and my conversations with Gaggle, because in order for Gaggle to be able to call the police to somebody's home, they would have to have the address of that child. Yes. And I right. Yeah. I mean, and it's not even just the address. Like, I'm not worried that somebody's going to come up to my house from Gaggle or whatever, but it's just it's the principle behind it. Like, damn, why, who are you to give that information to somebody else? Yes, they've shared some information with them. I don't know what it is because they will not tell me. They refuse to answer that question. Both Gaggle and the district will not tell me what it is. And I have absolutely no idea, but the only two things I can think of is that one, it would means that they would have to put in a lot of work to gather the information to give to me. So pure laziness, or they don't want parents to know all of the information that they've given to these companies because it might piss them off and might make them want them to stop what they're doing. I don't. Right, for whatever reason. And they'd even asked me, and I sent over Russell. I said, Russell, they have programs that do the exact same thing that Gaggle is currently doing that you can house within the district's own servers, and it does not go outside of that. I have even sent them links to multiple ones of that. You can purchase software, install it on a district server, and it never once have any of that information go outside of the district into a cloud somewhere. And that I would be fine with, because I have a say in what goes on in the school and how they handle data. I have no say in a private company housing that information. There's no way for me to do an open records request for that. There's no way for me to, there's no, authority figure that is making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to. You see what I'm saying? It's different when you're dealing with a company versus the public school. Right. So at the very least, if the district really, really feels strongly about this, they can move to a platform that does not go outside of the district's own servers. And I think that's reasonable to. Yeah, I really honestly, I couldn't tell you, because they're it's like a brick wall. Everything else they've been very responsive over, but when it comes to Gaggle and now Lightspeed, these people they shut you out. They won't talk to you about it. You have to jump through hoops and do all this other stuff, and then no, Gaggle just monitors and in real time everything that a child does on the Google, like a Google Classroom. So any emails, any documents that get uploaded. Well, no, because that would be a filter, which Gaggle doesn't do. Gaggle doesn't actually provide a filter that's. No, that is Lightspeed. Now, Gaggle, what it does is it reads everything. And if it detects a word that it deems bad, right? Like, let's say gay or homo, somebody wrote something, it might get flagged. And when it gets flagged, it goes over to the first level of safety representative, who is a remote contract worker that makes $10 an hour sitting at their house. Then they read it with their own human eyes. And if they determine, yes, this is a problem, then they send it on to the second level, and then they'll eyeball it too. And if it is a problem, then they'll either reach out to the school or they will call the police. They will never reach out to the parent. Right, is what it's for. It's for, like, committing suicide or suicidal ideation or bullying or, what have you, which, it's real difficult to say, it's difficult to argue against safety for kids, but at some point you're right. It's like, of course I care about student safety, but privacy is I think paramount in this country, because without it, what the hell do you have when the government has, because in Florida they were doing this same stuff, but afterwards they were sending that information over to police departments. The police literally could go in and look at social media profiles and any violations that those children had done when they were in school, but as adults. So, I mean, yeah, and now I think it's very invasive. Now they since, I believe, stopped doing that because of how many people were pissing and moaning about that, obviously. But still, they're clearly wanting to move that direction. So, somebody is. Yeah, I don't know of any districts, large districts, that don't. Small districts don't. And that was another point I had made to them. And like, you're arguing to me that you have to do this, yet these smaller districts don't do it. So they're not SIPA compliant, which is nonsense, Right. Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, it was, they spent On Lightspeed, I believe they're spending 85,000 a year or so, and on Gaggle they're spending 45,000 a year. So the smaller districts, right? And how do you measure the value that it brings? How do you even measure that? Yeah. Yeah. Now, Lightspeed is even worse. Lightspeed, the teacher can sit at her desk, watch the live screen monitors of all of the students while they're working, and then they can go into that remotely into the computer. They can open tabs, they can close tabs, they can force the child to, they can lock the computer down, they can do all of this stuff, and ostensibly they'd be able to open the camera. I don't know that they can, but if you think about how remote remote access works, it exists to be able to do that. So, and they can do this whether the child is at school or not. Whether they do it outside of school or not, I don't know, but I mean, right. Well, and that's the argument they also make, is that we always have to be prepared for the no, we're not going to be locking down anytime soon. I seriously doubt that. I don't. Right. Yeah, I don't think many people are going to be arguing in favor of long extended periods of shutdown. So the right. So I mean, and I've been trying to reach out to anybody and everybody. So I don't know what you can do, but this is clearly a problem, or at least it is to me. I see it as a bigger problem than other people do, but I don't think they're really looking that far ahead in the future. It's like, because you may not see the ramifications of it now, but give it 30, 40 years when these psychological profiles have been built on everybody in the country. I mean, and you know what I mean? You can buy an election. You'd be able to buy an election based on, something that triggers somebody. You could get them to hate it. Right. Yeah, you could get them to hate them. And now you've got AI that can create people. They can create entire scenes. They can, generate fake stuff that looks real and do it based solely on the premise that would get somebody to be upset by it, even if it was fake. So there's all those things going on, and I feel like that's what this is leading up to. And I feel like if you address it sooner than later, it's going to be better. But yeah. Yeah. Well, now Mark is the assistant superintendent now. He's no longer the principal at the high school. Oh yeah. Yeah. Me and Mark get along really well, but it was Margaret that sent me that letter and signed it. So I feel like it was her and Bo. And when I responded to them about what they sent me, I sent one over to Bo as well. Bo Rainey, he's the attorney, because I'm pretty sure he's the one that wrote that, or somebody from their firm anyway. But yeah, okay, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Sure. Right. Yeah. I mean, and even during those PTAC conferences, they even talked about how metadata is part of FERPA, because they were telling ed tech companies, like, you have to do this, and this for the metadata so that you don't violate FERPA, which implies that it's part of FERPA, which means that a parent has a right to it. Yet, here the district is making some crazy stuff up about grades not getting logged in. Man, it was weird. Yeah. 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 Right. Right. Yeah. And, talking about as long as it fits in a file cabinet, dude, what? No. Because if you think about that, that means that all a district would have to do to bypass FERPA regulations is send everything that they get over to a cloud server, and then they'll be like, "Well, we don't have it here, so that's not educational records." I mean, that's ridiculous to say, but I don't know. But if you could help out in any way, that would be phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you could even try it with your own district and see if it's different for you. You know what I mean? See what the difference in response is. Right. Yeah. I feel like they should, but I guess we'll see. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, okay. All right. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, sorry about that, guys. I didn't, it was JJ Dawson. He seemed to understand what I was saying. So that's good.
Who's JJ Dawson?
Yeah, he's my representative. Isn't Prieto's running against him, right? Isn't it same?
Yeah. Dana Prieto is running against him for District 34, Oklahoma senator.
Right. Which, given the issues that I had with my registration, I kept calling JJ and Nichols and the rest of them, and they would never get back to me because they thought I wasn't there in their district.
Yeah, I found that people don't want to talk to you unless they have to.
Angry Adrog says, I like watching Tim go after people on the telephone. Yeah, man, I'm dude, this has been
that was actually good. I like that. I like that you got a Oklahoma senator to call you back and people got to see the interaction. I like that. I know it was only one-sided, but it was good.
Yeah, but I get so, like today when I was talking to that lady from Utica Square Clinic or whatever the hell, Utica Park Clinic, she's like, oh no, it was a Wausau Pediatrics. She's like, don't yell at me. And I'm like, I'm not yelling at you. Okay. I get excited. This is how I sound. Everybody takes that shit the wrong way.
They do. Yeah, and I can vouch for you. You're not yelling. You're just passionate.
Yeah, and I'm just loud any fucking way. I mean,
you are fucking loud mouth motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so hopefully I can get some answers because he's like, why do you think that they wouldn't want you to have that information? I'm like, I don't know. That's a great question. Let's find the answer to that. His wife be yelling at him. That's funny.
Couple things.
Yeah, what's up?
Latest poll put out by American Viewpoint. Governor Stitt is up by 15 points.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It surprised me to hear that she was only down by 1 with that one poll.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I tell you what, Joy and Gina, they do not respond. Of course, I don't know that I've seen Ryan respond in the comments of like Facebook or Twitter or whatever. I don't think I've ever seen him do it. But
I don't think that they can respond to the comments part of it.
I've sent them emails too.
Yeah, the emails.
So, but
I've even had people on my side of it send Ryan emails that he hasn't responded to. But I imagine they probably get so many So that's why, Tim, I'm going to go to the Gina Nelson event.
And what are you going to do?
I'm going to ask her the questions that she has refused to answer or hasn't seen.
I don't know. Well, I guess it is a meet and greet. The first one is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I planned on going. I plan on going to all of them that I saw. I don't know how well it's going to work against my schedule yet. I think it'll be fine.
Are you going to go to the one here in Owasso though? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me find that email real quick because I'm also signed up for her newsletter. That's the first one I've gotten from her.
Really?
Was the one that was with those with like a timeline. So we got one on October 17th in Jinx, and then one on October 10th. That's for the phone bank, which I intend to do. And then Blue Moms of Owasso. That should be interesting.
Those are your people, right?
I don't think so, man.
That's your best friend, right?
I don't think so. No, if you're talking about Stephanie Ingersoll or whatever,
man, I'm going just to watch the interaction between y'all two, man.
Now
y'all think that liberals hate me. This sumbitch hates fucking Tim.
You talking about Stephanie?
Yeah, because he got her teacher.
I'm the reason.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Tyler. Oh, yeah. She blocked me a long time ago after she accused me of I'm the reason her child wanted to kill him or herself. I'm not sure what gender. I don't know anything about this person really. Just that they were Owasso PLAC and they like to delete comments and stuff.
From both sides, whatever they didn't agree with.
Yeah. They didn't like it. It was gone.
And that's their business, but they were part of a PLAC, which is a nonprofit, nonpartisan group, is what they were claiming.
Supposedly,
which they are not.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm interested to meet her. I don't know if she'll want me there. But if where is it at exactly? Does it say?
It's at Rayola Park, just off of 169.
Oh yeah, no, I live right by that park. So
yeah, just south of 86th Street. It's Wednesday, October 26th.
You know, I'll meet her. I won't. You know, she might actually change her opinion of me once she meets me.
Or can I walk up there with you?
Yeah, you can go up there with me.
No, you don't even want to be seen in public with me. October 26th.
In public with you all the time.
I know. We went down to the gathering a few weeks ago, and yeah. Anyway, it's October 26th, 6 p.m. It's going to be the night after the great debate. And if she wants to be in charge of my child's education, she's going to have to answer some questions from me.
Yeah, hopefully she will. I mean,
the same as Ryan would for you.
It seems like a meet and greet, more than a pep rally or whatever.
Right.
Which I think is great. That'll be, I think, awesome for her to, because I'm sure she's seen my name around before.
I know she knows you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does. But I guess we'll see. I know Stephanie knows me.
I know Stephanie knows you. I know Stephanie loathes me.
I just found it was odd that I don't know anything about her.
I know that she is a self-proclaimed atheist, lesbian. Nothing wrong with either of those, as far as I'm concerned. Was married to a transgender male. Apparently, they have separated since then, according to her post. She has 3 children, probably a wonderful mother. One of the children is a transgender child. But I have never personally attacked Stephanie. And this is what I want to talk about. Stephanie has came onto my page and said that I am spewing hatred and I am spewing all this vile shit.
Is that picture you sent me that
I've got
you're talking about?
Yeah, I've got hundreds. I mean, I'm the scourge of Owasso. I'm serious. I have never. I'm not allowed.
Met her in person?
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah, that's why I tell a lot of people. I'm like, look, if you meet Ron in person, you'll have a different thought of him, than what you see online. I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably true for most people also.
It probably is.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that this is more me than the in-person me is, because that I can get just as ignorant in person as I do online. But I've never attacked Stephanie when it wasn't reciprocated, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to the event. I'm going to go to the event, Stephanie. Rayola is a public space.
It is a public space.
I'm not going there to hold up a sign or hold a pitchfork or a Trump flag or anything. I just want to ask the lady some questions, the same as I would expect you to do with Ryan. And you have been invited to Ryan functions. Don't tell me you ain't.
Yeah, but that wasn't a public place.
Right. It was in my backyard, and you were more welcome than anybody else. Yeah. You know that.
But out of respect for both of you, I didn't. Because I knew that I would probably open my mouth and say something. Plus, it was just going to be awkward. But that was before our show anyway. That was long before we were just phone buddies, I guess. That sounds weird.
I want you to tell people that what I'm fixing to say is true. Stephanie supported Tyler Wren. Yes or no?
I believe so, yeah. I think she had blocked me by that time, though.
Right. She blamed us for her daughter's depression because we got him fired. And I'm just
I don't remember what all else. Yeah, I don't even remember half.
I'm gonna leave it alone. Like, it is what it is.
My interactions with her were pretty short.
Mine have been in depth. Is why
I think we may have actually talked privately. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I think she gets the wrong opinion about a lot of things. Knee-jerk reactions, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I've got threads of conversation with Stephanie.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to meet her, though.
I don't hold any ill will towards her. I seriously don't. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What religion?
Right.
What? I don't.
Right.
You don't keep me up at night, Stephanie. You don't keep me up at night.
Right. Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't know what keeps her up at night, but she blocks everything out that she disagrees with. So maybe nothing keeps her up at night because she just doesn't. You know what I mean? I mean, the whole bubble aspect of our country is kind of weird, where you've got half liberals and half Republicans just want to close themselves off from anything else, like the whole Moms for Liberty thing.
Well, let's talk about the Moms for Liberty and the Welkable thing.
Yeah,
hang on. I'm sweating you have to deal with the fan noise. Hang on.
All right. Yeah, Moms for Liberty should be renamed to Moms for Our Version of Liberty. We'll talk about it, though. Hurry up with that fan, Ron. Put some stank on it. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, okay. So the Moms for Liberty, I got, and I'm not going to say who said it, because I like this person. She's always been nice. She's always been respectful.
I think all the Moms for Liberty are nice and respectful. First of all, I do.
Unless you disagree with them, it's not so respectful.
Who?
God, I don't know. God,
give me one initial.
People. I don't know. It's been so long, but I would make a comment.
No, I'm talking about the people that run the group. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, the person I'm talking about, you know who it is.
Yeah, she's sweet. I love her.
Just read this. The board decided to remove you from the group. The consensus was that your vocalization for Gina was a big concern since she represents the opposite of what we are fighting. Also, you argue so much on social media and often with people that are part of Moms for Liberty, which is not actually true. I would respond to a post that was made in there, and then people would reply to me. And then whenever I would further disagree, or it's like, if you want to debate me, I will debate you. But then as soon as they realize that their arguments don't really hold much water, it's, oh, you're attacking me. And then they would just claim that I was attacking them and being rude and what have you. And then they would send private messages to everybody. Oh my God, did you see what Tim said to me? Even though it's just me debating somebody. So, it's whatever. It's everybody's perception is different, I guess. But
well, let's go on, because I'm going to wrap all this up together. Like, this is all together. It's not just Moms for Liberty. It's not just the real Ron, not just Unwokable, not just Loudmouth, not just Linda Murphy and Rope. It's all of us. So what's your opinion of an Unwokable?
I mean, I don't know, honestly. The term woke is so overblown, I think. But woke meaning somebody who believes in, I don't know, inclusion and diversity and equity. And I honestly couldn't give you a definition of it because.
But what do you think of the person, Mark Owsley, Unwokable?
Oh, I mean, I don't know anything about the guy. I think he's a little weird. Just my impression of him, but again, I don't know much about him. I know I'm not going to get into somebody's personal stuff, things that don't matter. I think you know what I'm talking about, the whole video thing. But other than that, I mean, I've only ever had one interaction with him personally, which was, well, two, I guess, technically. He had argued with me about the whole gender affirming surgery or whatever. And then also said something about the comments that I'd made on this when I was watching the show you were on with Janice. He had said something about MAGA and healthcare. I don't remember. It was like, imagine if your child came to you and said that I'm a MAGA. And
you
I'm
wanted to get a tattoo of Donald Trump on your back.
And I'm like, well, if MAGA was a mental health issue, you know what I mean? Because that's the gender dysphoria is a mental health problem. So it's like apples and oranges, but which is funny because I said that and then everybody's like, oh my God, he thinks that MAGA is a mental health problem. It's like, no. I didn't say that.
Right.
But anyway.
Here's my thing about Moms for Liberty, Rope, who's ran by Jenny White, and there's Mark Owsley that runs Unwokable. There's Melissa that runs Tulsa Parents Voice. I do the real Ron. We do Loudmouth. You do your own page. Yeah. We all are parents that want the very best for our kids. And whenever we have somebody saying something that we don't believe in or we disagree with, then they instantly become the enemy, whatever side they're on.
Right.
Like Mark is way more right than I am. But if Mark says you have to tell parents they can't have anything to do with and he didn't say this, but if Mark's, for example, said, if parents want to do anything with their kids, it has to be run through the government, I would be against that. And I would come out against Mark. Right. Because that's just our passion. But right now I'm seeing Moms for Liberty and Mark and Unwokable, Linda Murphy, who ran against Joy Hoffmeister, who is very right-winged Republican conservative lady that has some really great stuff. Her and Jenny White on Rope, Reclaim Oklahoma Parent Empowerment. They have some really great stuff, but I disagree with them on a couple of things. Mm-hmm. But then we instantly become enemies.
That's a problem.
It's a distraction from the common goal, I think.
Right.
Which is parents need their rights back. They need to be involved.
Right. One thing I know about life is that you're never always right.
Well, I've only been wrong twice. I've been married 3 times.
But my point being is that you can think in your head and see no other way that is reasonable other than what you've rationalized in your mind about any given topic, really. And you are not always right.
Right.
And so it's important and I think healthy for you to expose yourself to other people's views because they may have. And I think what really irritates people is when you make a decent point that either they hadn't thought of or it's hard for them to refute, then that upsets them because now that's called cognitive dissonance. where you get that feeling like your ideology is being personally attacked. So it is a human reaction, but if you recognize it, you can prevent that from keeping you in whatever bubble that you've placed yourself. And, like me and you, we're able to compartmentalize that and realize that, what Tim wants what's best for his kid. He wants to do it this way. I want what's best for my kid, but I'm going to do it this way. But we realize that we both want what's best for our kid. We just see it different. So we can, our connection as friends is separate from our ideology, and some people can't do that.
Let me say this, because you just talked about Moms for Liberty, and I love all my Moms for Liberty. I really do. But I got basically the same message that you got, because I understand that I'm a lot. I say shit. I cuss. I love Jesus. I cuss a little bit. I understand that. So I was part of Moms for Liberty, and then you were able to post, but then they got a lot of people posting different stuff, and I was posting the most. I was doing the most, and it wasn't fitting what they were trying to do. I understand that. If somebody was coming on the Ron page, taking over what I was trying to do, I'd shut that shit down. So they wouldn't let me post. So I bowed out. That's their group. I still support them, but that's their group. I don't want to mess up what they're trying to do. I respect that. Mark is the same way. Mark has his own ideologies and his own beliefs. I have to respect that. I may not agree with them. I don't give a shit about his past. Who hasn't had a sex tape, right? I mean, come on. Tim,
I don't know anything about a sex tape.
Okay, you've had a sex tape, Tim.
I plead the fifth, sir.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just saying, I don't know if it's true. I don't give a shit. That's my point. I don't care.
Right.
Because it doesn't make his opinion less relevant.
I see what you're saying. I don't disagree with you, but if you put liberty in your name and you know what I mean? Because I think the freedom to be able to speak is part of liberty. So it's kind of a disservice to that word. I think liberty is a very important word, something that we should hold on to and not water down. So
I agree. I think you should probably join the Dads Defending Daughters then, because you're not a mom, even though I tried to identify. Even though I tried to identify as a blue mom of Owasso, Stephanie said that I was not.
That one day I was a girl. I don't remember that day I posted about it. Said today I'm identifying as a such and such and whatever. It's like, and if you don't believe me, it's because you're a transphobe.
Yeah, that's on TikTok, isn't it?
It was either on TikTok or Facebook.
It's on TikTok. Yeah, that was a great post.
Yeah,
because I did the same thing with Stephanie. I was like, I want in this group. I want to know what these people think. I want to learn about my neighbors. And time for you all to come to. Thank you, Tina. That's what I'm trying to do.
And you didn't read this one.
I love lesbians too. That's my favorite porn category.
All right, now that the show has gone on a darker turn, it's time we'll see y'all next week. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it really is like, I can be a lot too. Like Ron, I can get excited and,
well, we do. We like to argue,
without, thinking, and I love arguing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying in the last one. I'm like, man, bring 7 people on here. I don't care.
Yeah.
And some people don't. It offends them. It makes them feel uncomfortable. Some
people will do anything to avoid confrontation. I'm like running towards it.
Right.
Where's it at?
Right. It's like
it's just different types of. It's just
right. It's like imagine watching a movie where nothing ever bad goes wrong. That would be the crappiest, most horrific movie that never ended. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to see that. People need some conflict in their life. I think we all to a degree like drama. So, some more than others. I don't mind a bit of drama.
I watch
Big Brother.
Like your buddy Fake Stuff Tiger on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. You sent me the
it was not a picture of me. I hope you could tell that it was not a picture of me, but I've never weighed that much, but I wish I weighed that much. But anyway, Fake Stuff Tiger was like, "Are you still beating women and getting protective orders put against you?" I'm like, I love to live life. I'm exciting. Whatever. It's
YOLO.
completely not true.
Right. That's funny. Yeah. I hadn't actually talked to him in a few days. I take that back. I think I sent him a message about it was about Mark.
Was it really?
Yeah, whatever that
See,
Daily Mail that Daily Mail article.
We're all intertwined.
Yeah, I sent that to Faked. I'm like, because I thought it was funny. Not that it's any of anybody's business, but the article had been there since like 2016.
Yeah, so, and even Mark has addressed it. He's like, it's like 7-8 years old.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel bad for the guy. What he had to deal with, that was bullshit.
It's nobody's fucking business. Is my point.
That's kind of like what Logan did with Melissa. Like
it's exactly the same thing Logan did with Melissa.
Like I'm reading through this and I'm like, why am I reading this?
Right,
it's like somebody's personal drama, and while I like drama, from a legal standpoint, that's kind of crappy. But
right,
anyway.
But do you know who Linda Murphy is?
No. I mean, the name sounds familiar, but I don't know.
She ran against Joy for state superintendent, lost, and she's very involved with the public education stuff.
Loser,
whatever.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Jenny White is a loser.
I don't know who that is either. Yeah, well, it's weird. Like prior to 2-3 years ago, I only ever followed national politics. I never followed local politics.
Local is so much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you can affect more change.
Yeah. Look who you just talked to for 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've talked to federal representatives as well, but just through the normal channels where you would, leave a message or whatever. But I appreciate the fact that he talked to me for, God, it was what, 30 minutes or something?
It was at least 30 minutes. And JJ, I'll say this about JJ, and I've said some stuff about JJ in the past that has been negative, but JJ always responds to his constituents.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot can be said about that. And plus, he understood where I was coming from. He never stated that, whether he agreed with it or not, but I think he does realize that it's like, yeah, that's probably information that you should have access to. It's like, yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
like,
JJ's he's very common sense. His sister, I can't deal with the sister thing, but he's kind of common sense.
I talked to her on the phone too. She actually she called me, and I'm not even her constituent.
She's more your people. She showed up at my damn house and knocked on my door. And my wife, swear to God, my wife was like, "Do you know who lives here?"
That's funny. Was she campaigning or?
Yeah, she was door knocking for JJ.
Oh, that's funny.
My wife was like, "Do you know who lives here?"
Well, she's the one that she said that they would offer a compromise for the dates, the change of the dates for the school board, to remove any mention of Democrat or Republican for school board members and superintendent.
I'm good with that. Right. Because I'm going to mention it all day long, so I don't give a shit if they do or not.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be on the ballot either.
No, opinion. I don't think so. It should be a
ballot. It
should be a nonpartisan race. It should be.
It really should. And she was cool with that, so that might be something they can work out. I don't know. I feel like I need to run or something, do something, because I just, you feel so powerless to change something. You know what I mean?
Why not? Why would you not? Is my question.
Because people hate me.
You don't think I'm going to run against Frosty in Ward 5?
Well, Republicans love you.
Nah.
Yeah, Republicans love you.
You think I'll win in Ward 5 against a Democrat? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. But in my case, liberals will love me for like 5 or 10 minutes and then hate me when I open my mouth and say something that I disagree with them about, because I will. And they're like, "Oh my God, he's a terrible human. I can't believe he does that." Yeah,
I would support you on the school board. I really would.
Yeah, that would be unfortunately, because of my registration, though. and I swear I read that somewhere. I may need to look it up again, because I know Neil's trying to get me coffee to sit down with him for coffee, because he's running. I don't know. I think it's time to get rid of these people.
What ward are you in, if you don't mind saying?
2. I think it's 2. It's Neil's ward. It's the one coming up.
Oh, so you would be running this time then?
Yep. Yeah.
But you just registered. So are you eligible?
I swear I read somewhere that you have to have been registered in that county for 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Which is horseshit.
That's complete horseshit.
Well, what's even more horseshit is that I was already registered here, and I don't know what the hell happened. It reverted back to a house I haven't lived in for 15 years. So I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, I mean, there's always some hanky panky going on there with the elections.
You don't have to do anything I say, Tim, but if I were you, I would declare my candidacy, go up there and fill out the stuff.
Yeah.
The only people that can contest that would be the other candidates.
True.
And then it would have to go through a whole thing, but it doesn't cost any money at this point.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but I don't know. Because honestly, there's nobody on the board that represents any of the impoverished people in Oklahoma. Because I live in a neighborhood that's, you could say, is the Owasso ghetto. I mean,
there's no ghetto in Owasso.
Well, it's all relative, but if you imagine the Owasso ghetto, that's the neighborhood I live in. And there's nobody representing those families. Because everybody on the board there, you got Frosty rolling up in a freaking brand new Corvette.
It wasn't a brand. It was a 2014
brand
Corvette.
new.
It was a nice Corvette, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So I mean, they all like either own businesses or Rhonda Mills. She's
Rhonda Mills is the one with money. She rolls up in that damn Hummer.
Yeah, you'd think she owns the bars too.
She ain't been there in the last meeting or two, has she?
Nope. She's been hung over probably.
Well, she got elected, and then she's missed 2 meetings since she got elected.
Yeah, right after she got elected, she started talking shit in the middle of the meeting too.
Oh, your boy JJ.
What?
Dana Parieto was just endorsed by Kevin Hearn.
Kevin Hearn.
I love Kevin Hearn.
Well, I mean, I think this area is more Democrat. At least the county that he's in, that's probably why, because a Democrat from Oklahoma is often not a Democrat that you would think of on a national scale. We'll just, be honest about that.
That's I don't know. Saving grace. That's really a saving grace. Like JJ, he's not really Democrat.
Yeah, we have like right-leaning Democrats, and then we have people who have already fallen over to the right. They're just in the water. That's how deep they are.
Oh, what do you think about this is just like random, but what do you think about old Blue Dot moving up to Tulsa? Did you see that?
I think it's great. I tried to, I don't know.
We're not going to
post, but I tried to get her to do like a meet and greet.
We have to. I mean, Tulsa is not like Oklahoma City. We're not like 12,000 miles away from everybody. We're going to run into her at some point.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know that she'd have me, but I think she'd be cool to hang out with.
I don't, but I would love for you to hang out with her.
Yeah,
I really do. She has great videos. She
really does
videos.
Yeah, she really does.
I don't like the content. I think the content is horseshit, but the videos are put together so wonderfully.
Yeah, she's got her ability to get right to the point, say what she's trying to say. I'm so long-winded.
Right.
I just can go on and on and on. It's a curse.
No, you're right. She just gets, and it's very grab your audience type. Like you could tell she was like a star in speech class in college. She was, I give her props, but she just fucking blocks me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a little better with my personal Loudmouths page. I don't know if you saw. I try to keep those clips pretty short, but
that's the deal, is keeping it short with the little
right.
The little clips.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. One of them was 40 minutes long, right? But it was me looking up websites and stuff to something to put on the screen, and ended up getting smashed down to like 6 minutes. So I took 40 minutes of video down to 6 minutes. It was a lot of editing. Yeah, it was a lot of editing. Of course, a lot of it was literally me like looking up, finding a website or a picture or something or a video, queuing up a video or whatever.
I've got a little bit of time left here, Tim. So let me ask you this. What do you think about Tulsa Public Schools' response to Project Veritas? Have you seen that?
Yeah. Didn't we talk about this the other day?
No, I'm talking about the thing that came out today. I'll read it to you real quick.
No,
This is from Tulsa Public Schools' response to Project Veritas. Project Veritas is well known for their unethical and deceptive practices, considering that the source, in quotations, is a heavily edited video obtained under fraudulent pretenses.
I think I have seen this.
We do not believe that it merits a comment.
I mean, that's just a way to deflect from the point. It's like shoot the messenger. That's all that is.
Right.
It's like, well, we don't like the source. The information, we're just going to ignore, but the source was crazy. And I get that a lot too. I've even had people say that to me. Well, considering you're this or that, it's like, okay, but
it doesn't
what I
take
said
away
valid?
From what we're saying.
Right. Is what I said valid, or is what
Right.
Tyler doing? Is that something really that you're okay with? Because it's hard for even liberals to argue in favor of what Tyler was saying.
I think that's what they're doing, is trying to just sweep it under the rug, make it go away.
Yeah. Sorry,
we're not
Tyler.
going to talk about it because it look at the source. We're not going to talk about the actual facts of it.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, that'd be one benefit of Ryan winning. Is his ability to go in there and yank his freaking license.
If that's the only thing Ryan ever did, I would be okay.
Yeah, that's one good thing. So, I doubt
because
Gina
we've
would
had
do that.
personal interactions with this.
Yeah, I doubt that Gina would do that. But if Ryan did that, I would find that to be at least halfway amusing.
That's what that's the very first question I asked Gina. And tell your buddy Stephanie, this is the very first thing I'm going to say to Gina. Do you think that Tyler Wren should be teaching in public schools?
Yeah. She'll probably give the politic response of, well, that's not, that's for the district to decide and blah, blah, blah. That's probably what she'll say.
I hope so.
There is an argument to be made, to be fair, that unless you can actually show where he, say, violated 1775, right? Because this kind of goes back to my argument about Summers. Like, well, her saying that she broke the law doesn't necessarily mean that she broke the law. You know what I'm saying? So,
right, but
we agreed supporting it.
We agreed that Tyler, when he was in Owasso,
he is a problem.
Broke the law.
Yeah, well, so 1775 would deal with what was in the class. All of those TikTok videos, highly unethical, shouldn't be going on, but it wasn't in the class, nor was it part of the curriculum. So unless you have like video evidence,
you're talking about
audio,
like teaching children?
Correct. Yeah. So him saying that he's doing this is not the same as him doing it, if that makes any sense.
Do you think he knows that, and that's why he does it the way he does it?
Maybe, and the kids probably aren't going to turn him in. But I just, with something like that, with something so just blatant like that, and then to continue it after you've already gotten in trouble at one district, I mean, come on.
That's
ego.
ego.
Take some balls. Yeah, take some balls or some stupidity. I'm not sure which is bigger.
I think it takes going to work for Deborah Gist, who's going to protect you at all cost.
That's an administrative issue, and that needs to be fixed too. I think that's probably nationwide.
Just tell me what you think about Deborah Gist real quick.
I think she is a politician.
Absolutely.
I think that's all it is.
She's not a school administrator. She's a politician.
I think she's and unfortunately most of them are. I think Coates is doing, I think, a fairly decent job, but at the same time, your goal should not be to protect the school first.
Right.
That shouldn't be the goal.
You're not supposed to protect the buildings. You're supposed to protect the kids.
Right. Yeah. Why don't you put the kids first for a change? But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if they can prove that Tyler has been doing stuff in the classroom, yank that shit.
Yank it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easy for us to say yank it because of what he said, but I feel like it is important to have actual like evidence of in the classroom stuff that he's done.
I think, and I'll tell you this because Summer, how you say her last name?
Some people are saying Blamier, but I don't see an L in the name. So Boismere, I don't know.
The Norman teacher.
Right. Summer.
She was a fledgling actress. Right?
Oh, I don't know anything about her.
Oh, you didn't know this? Yeah, she wants to be an actress. So the conspiracy theory is she made this up to get the public attention to get out, and that's where she's going to Hollywood.
No, I don't believe that for a second.
That's the theory.
Yeah, I don't believe it. There's God. That's like when they used to say like gay people just either wanted attention or this, that, or the other, or being gay was a choice, right? It's like
not gay.
Like why? Well, back in our day when we were younger, that's what they said all the time.
Oh yeah, I guess they did. Yeah, they did.
Being gay is a choice. That has since kind of dissipated, but that used to be the argument. It's like, man, why would you choose to be shit on by everybody? Why would you, you know what I mean, have a life where you're going to get shit on by pretty much everybody? It's like
everybody,
it's like, I don't know. So in Summer's case, I don't see that. I really don't.
But in Tyler's case, he said it. He's like, I have a huge TikTok following.
Right.
This is the reason I want all this attention because I love
burn it to the ground.
Yeah,
burn it to the ground. And even with that, I've probably said the same thing a time or two in my day, but
right here,
but that was more in my younger years when because when you're just out of high school, whatever, into college, that there's that burning desire to change shit.
Right.
For me anyway, because I was always big into politics, but it was national politics. Because I used to watch C-SPAN with my mom when I was in high school. So it's, I've always followed politics. So you come out and you want to, I'm going to change the world. And then you start to realize slowly, it's like, this shit changes way too slow for my taste.
I'll tell you I'm glad you said that because when I was in my early 20s, I wanted to change everything and make it better.
Right.
And then as I get into my late 30s, early 40s, I want to protect what I have and keep it the same.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you're more likely to follow processes. You understand that there are processes for things. And while it's annoying as shit, you still
life
go
experience.
Right. Yeah. It's, but you still need that young fire, that young desire, to do that. That's why I don't necessarily care that our politicians are all like really old. National politics is,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Y'all are just too damn old.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, sorry, too old. Trump, too old.
Trump's too old.
McConnell, all of them.
I can't believe McConnell and Pelosi are still alive.
Yeah. Bernie, while he is
Bernie,
he is old as shit. But
don't give me that Bernie shit.
That man is so quick. That man is so super quick.
You to Bernie is like me to Ryan Walters. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that right now. Did you see one more? Did you see the mom that was pissed off because the drag queen show came in for her like
video
grade class?
The
and
video.
She went to the school board meeting dressed up in the same fucking outfit.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. Good job, Mom.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the board didn't cut her off. I'd seen another one where that lady had started to say something and they shut her down and made her leave. And then
that was in Bigsby.
One of the board members was like, she was like, do you even have a child in the district? And another board member was like, whoa, that is totally inappropriate. Starts bitching at the other board member. And then at the very end, you hear that it was the president, the board president was talking shit. She walks over to that. She's like, now I know you're running. And then the video cut off. So what she was getting at was, you're running for office, so I know you need to grandstand or whatever. But
well, you remember back when Parents Voice, Owasso, all the ladies and I were heavily involved in it, went up and spoke, and each one of us spoke. And Rhonda Mills, your girlfriend, Rhonda Mills, she asked each person that spoke if they had a child in the district and if they lived in the district.
see, that's none of their damn business.
Well, I asked her, I asked Rhonda, I said, I'll answer the question if you'll answer the question, because she doesn't have a child in the district.
Right. I think a lot of them don't. Right?
I don't know that any of them do except for Neil.
Right. Yeah, because maybe they have grandkids.
Stephanie, but I don't count her because she's not a legitimate candidate or a legitimate board member.
She is.
She's fucking. She broke the fucking law.
Yeah, I mean there's a point to be made there, I guess. But well, we've lost all our viewers there.
That's cool.
And we're almost at 2 hours.
Oh my god.
We want to cut it. Yeah, we want to cut it now.
Because you talked to JJ for fucking ever, dude.
Yeah, but I feel like that was good content.
That was so good. It was so good.
I feel like that was, and that's why I went ahead and stayed on the program.
I think you should probably. Can you change the title when you put it to YouTube to say Oklahoma Senator JJ Dawson?
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think JJ would mind that at all.
Well, I don't think you could hear anything of what he said either.
No, I really was trying to too, and I couldn't hear anything. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was me just kind of laying down what the issues I'm having.
I appreciate him letting you just talk to him.
Yeah, no, I went on. I tried to talk really fast because I know they're usually really busy. So I'm like,
yeah,
but that's good stuff, I thought.
Yeah. It was.
Anyway, well, I know this was an impromptu deal. Do you want to try on Sunday or do we want to just wait till Tuesday?
I think Tuesday. I got a couple of teachers that want to come on the Real Ron with me. Sunday's going to be busy for me. We can try to squeak something in, but I don't want to. I want it to be like planned out and done right. So
yeah. Are the teachers here from Owasso?
No. I got one from out of state, Tim. Well, one of them is from Oklahoma. One of them's from out of state.
Yeah. When are you doing that?
Do you want to come on with us?
That's what I was getting at. Yeah. I was like, if they're okay with it, I'd love to.
Yeah. Let's do it.
If only just to talk about it,
Yeah. Let's do the, but it'll have to be on the Real Ron because that's all they've agreed to.
Yeah. That's fine.
But I'll say, hey, let me, I'm going to work that out. That's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah. If they're cool with it. If not, it doesn't matter. I'll watch it.
Yeah. If not, we'll just do it, whatever. But yeah, I think that would be because I just hate one-sided conversations all the time. Yeah. And one of them I know will not mind you coming on at all.
Are they of the right persuasion?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I won't let them know. I won't be there to argue with them. It'll be your show anyway, so.
I'll moderate.
Like window dressing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, we're not. And that's same for the left. If Tim gets a leftist teacher that wants to come on, I'm not going to just attack you and like chew your ear off. I want to know what you want. I want to know.
I still really feel like we should have our platform where they just come on and chill out and talk.
Yeah. That works. Honestly, I think that works.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask whatever question comes to your head, but I don't, because that way people will be more likely to come on because they know you're not going to sandbag them or whatever or be shitty.
Would you come on? Let me ask you this. Would you come on and talk with me and Jeremy Guthrie?
Yeah. Man, I'll talk to anybody. Yeah, I'll talk to anybody.
Okay.
I don't care who it is.
Because I know y'all had just like you and I, you've had words in the past.
Me and Jeremy?
Yeah.
Have we? Oh, yeah, man. I have so many people hate on me. I mean, I know Jeremy Guthrie's name, but I don't remember what we might have had issues with.
No, Jeremy's just as right as I am, but he wants to debate you. per se.
What did we get into an issue about?
COVID, a bunch of COVID stuff.
Oh, that's old news.
Like sciencey stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a pissing contest in science. I don't fucking know, but
I mean,
that's not what
the coronavirus group back in the day.
Well, no, that's not what we're going to talk about because that's, like you said, old news. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Jeremy Guthrie, Casey Mayer.
Casey.
Oh, Casey, I love Casey.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be able
talking shit about Casey.
I don't know if he'll be able to hold his own there.
Casey is a good dude, man. He's down there fighting a good fight in South.
I just know he likes to talk shit.
We like to talk shit, Tim.
That's true.
Don't be talking shit about Moms for Liberty either.
No, Moms for Liberty, the group, should be Moms for Our Liberty, nobody else's.
There you go. That's all you had to say. Just don't talk shit.
Well, that's what I said back to when that person sent me that, and I won't say who it is because I do like the person. Yeah,
she's they're all good ladies.
Yeah,
but they're just trying to do something, and we're trying to respect that.
I mean, I agree, and I'm not gonna pitch too big of a fit about it. It is a little irritating when you have the word liberty in your name, and you're like, no. You're going against what we're trying to do here. I thought it was liberty. Give me liberty or give me death, sir. What say you, Ron?
I agree. I agree.
I know,
and that's why I tell Melissa, and Melissa's talking to me all the time. She's like, I know you hate when I block people, but I block people. That's fine.
Did she?
You're an American.
She ever blocked me? She still talks to me. I still talk to her.
I think Melissa really likes you. I think that you and Melissa need to make up.
Yeah. I don't hate her. I don't hate her. She's don't really hate anybody.
She's very, I'll say this about Melissa. She's very loyal, but when you're wrong, she'll tell you if you're wrong. And if you're not wrong, she'll say, fuck off and come back in a couple days.
Well, that might be why we clash, because I'm pretty much the same way,
Yeah. Well, that's why we get along. That's why I have both of you all as friends. So
right. Yep. All right. Well, Sunday, just hit me up, let me know what they say, and I'll go on there or whatever.
I'm gonna talk to the one tonight that I want you and her to debate. So I'm gonna talk to her tonight, and I'll let you know. You got anything like DJ stuff going on this weekend?
Saturday, my first same-sex marriage. So that'll be interesting.
Hell.
Yeah. Well, I think I talked about it yesterday, but you weren't here. But yeah.
What do you wear to a same-sex marriage?
Same thing that you wear to a heterosex marriage.
I was wanting to do the Key and Peele. It's the same as a regular wedding.
Right. It is the same as a regular wedding.
Yeah.
The only difference is like the grand introduction. That's what'll be different. Instead of Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, it's...
What are you going to say?
The brides.
The brides?
The brides, yeah. Because Mrs. and Mrs. or, bride and bride sounds weird. Anyway, it ought to be fun.
Okay, let me know how that goes. When are you doing that?
Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's like 7 hours, I think, total from the time I guess 8 if you include takes me about an hour to break everything down. About 2 hours to set up, hour to break down.
Let me just show. Not to go into details or anything, but what type of music did they request?
Oh, just everything. Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah, just whatever. Yeah. That's the DJ's job. And anybody that's hiring a DJ, I'll just say, if you're hiring a DJ, you're hiring somebody to read the room and put music forward that DJ believes might get the room going. But if you say you have to play this, and this, that really puts the DJ's hands behind his back, because then he can't play anything outside of that. So if nobody's dancing at your party, yet you've given 4 hours of music for that person to use, well, that's on you. Don't get mad at the DJ for doing that. So if you're going to hire a DJ, look at what kind of music they are typically playing and go with one that is, that you believe is able to read the room, and let them do their thing.
Let the DJ.
Right. Let the DJ. If you want a human iPod, get an iPod and just hook it up to some speakers.
I like that. Yeah.
It'll cost you less money, I promise.
Hey, play some Kane Brown at least.
I play it all. Yeah. No, I ordered that controller, the DDJ 1000, but it's on back order till December or January.
What'd that run you?
$1,300.
I was gonna say $1,200, something like that. Yeah.
Well, it was $14.51 with the flight case, but I got the flight case half off because it was like a bundle deal. If you buy them both together, you got like half off of the flight case, which is like almost $400 by itself. I mean, it's a big case. It's metal. It's
much, but the mixer is much bigger than what.
Oh, that mixer is huge. It's got turntables almost probably about half the size of a vinyl, because it's not a vinyl turntable, but it's it got the mixer deal, so you can still scratch and stuff. So yeah, it's a big mixer.
Oh, Big Tim out there scratching and shit. I like it.
Yeah, I don't do that, because if it works, the benefits don't outweigh the risk of you fucking it up in the middle of a wedding. You know what I mean? If I'm at a bar or something, that's a little different.
Yeah.
But you're at a wedding, and you're, shit's all sound like shoes in a dryer. You do it wrong, it really ruins everything.
Hey,
but
practice makes perfect.
People are generally like, give me another shot. They don't even notice.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. All right. Hit me up on Sunday, and to everybody out there, it'll be either Sunday or Tuesday.
Yep. Maybe both.
No, it'll be Tuesday for us. It'll be
Tuesday
Sunday
for sure
for Ron.
Yeah. Tuesday for us for sure.
All right, man. We'll catch you later, and we'll see. Oh, before we go, there's that. But I also wanted to mention that you need to text
some trash to mention.
Yeah. You need to text Loudmouth to 918-855-4322 so that you can get your trash bins cleaned up. And if you send that promo code to that number, they'll send 20% of your first order to us to support our show and what we do. Or you can go to royalbincleaning.com and use the promo code there. Boom.
And if you don't like your trash bins to smell good, text me and tell me to piss off, because you need to text Loudmouth to that number on the screen.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You really do. All right, man. We'll catch you on Sunday or Tuesday.
All right. Holler at you, Mo.
All right. Peace.